The classification of substation, we have two types: indoor substation and outdoor substation. Indoor substation, since it is confined to one construction or a block, so it can be established up to 11 kV voltage only, and there is a disadvantage of this system because of spacing issues. The voltages cannot be above 11 kV. Because of some economic consideration, these indoor substations are constructed. Or if you have some atmospheric impurities, then with some insulation and other precautions, these substation can be erected up to voltages 66 kV. So this is indoor substation. Outdoor substation, it requires a bigger land, open space, and the voltages is beyond 66 kV. So as you know, the voltage, if voltage increases, the spacing between the conductor also increases, and other equipment. So these high voltages substations cannot be in indoor substation. We require a lot of space. That's why above 66 kV outdoor substations are suitable. The comparison, space required. Naturally, indoor substation requires lesser space as compared to outdoor substation. If you see time required for erection, indoor substation, because of construction, it requires more time, and outdoor substation, directly the equipments can be installed directly, hence it requires lesser time for erection. Outdoor substation. Future extension, it is difficult in indoor substation because of restriction of a room or a block, but whereas in outdoor substation it can be extended very easily. Fault location, in indoor substation all the equipments are enclosed, so it is difficult to find the fault. But in outdoor substation all the equipments are in full view, hence it is easier to find the fault in outdoor substation. Capital cost, because of construction it is high, and in outdoor substation it is low because the concrete expenditure is less as compared to indoor substation. Now when it comes to operation, indoor substation, since it is confined to one room or one block, operation is easy, and in outdoor substations the equipments are at far places, hence the operation may be difficult in outdoor substation. When it comes to fault escalation, you see In indoor substation, since all the equipments are very close, it is more. And in outdoor substation, it is less because greater clearance can be provided, greater space can be provided between the equipments. So the fault chances in outdoor substation is less. Selection of site for substation. Now, first point is what type of substation it is. Accordingly, the site is chosen or land is marked. Now, what is the meaning of type of substation? We may have step up substation or it may be step down substation. If it is step up substation, then we should have a substation near to power plant. We cannot have a substation in the city because the power is generated at 11 kV, then it has to be stepped up. So these type of substations are required near to power plant. Similarly, if it is step down substation, then we require a space, we require a land near to city. So the type of substation decides where to choose land for substation. So that is our first point, selection of site and type of substation. The second point is availability of land or sufficient land. The land proposed for a substation should be normally level and it should be open from all sides. This is very important. We cannot have a substation near to congested area. It should be open from all the side and the substation land should be leveled. This is important because water logging should not take place in rainy season. And the transmission line must be connected easily so that the level is done, and this type of land should be available in sufficient. So this is the point for availability of land. One is water logging should not take place, and the second point is transmission lines must be easily possible to make without any obstruction, transmission lines. So that type of land we have to select. Third point is communication facility. As we know that we should have a good communication facility in the substation before the construction and after the construction of substation. So it should be near to road, and a transportation facility should be available to that land. So we have to choose the place or a site which should be very near to the road so that the communication is possible. Fourth point is atmospheric pollution. The atmosphere around factories may produce corroding gases. Hence, the land should be away from any type of atmospheric pollution. Substation, therefore, should not be located near factories. Next point we have is drainage facility. As we know that the drainage arrangement is to avoid pollution of air and the land. So the effective drainage arrangement has to be there, and this also helps to maintain the health of people working in substation. And the last point is amenities to the staff. The site should be such where the staff can be provided essential amenities like school, hospital, drinking water, or it may be even housing also. So we should have a site where some important amenities can be provided to the staff. So these are the some of the points for selection of site for substation. Now let us see what are the different types of bus bar arrangements. So basically we have three types of bus bar arrangements. The first is single bus bar system. In this system we have one single bus bar where all the incoming lines and outgoing lines are connected. The second one is single bus bar system with sectionalization. In this system, the bus bar is divided into sections, and each sections are connected using bus coupler. And we have third system, that is duplicate bus bar system. In this, we have main bus bar and spare bus bar. The total incoming and outgoing lines, they are connected to both the bus bar. During maintenance, one of the bus bar can be relieved and the spare bus bar can be used. So we have basically three types of bus bar arrangements. Let us see what is single bus bar system. Purvit,
So,
why is your video on?
oh, sorry, sir.
Now, single bus bar system, it consists of single bus bar and all incoming and outgoing lines are connected to this bus bar. It has low initial cost, but we have a disadvantage with this single bus bar system. If there is a fault in this bus bar, then complete substation is interrupted. So we need to shut down the complete substation, and the total all the outgoing lines are interrupted. That's why the single bus bar systems, it is used up to only 33 kV. single bus bar system with sectionalization. In this system, we have single bus bar, but it is divided into sections. Loads are equally distributed in each section. So if you have two sections and there are two incoming lines, so one incoming line will be connected to one section and other incoming line is connected to other section. If we have four outgoing lines, then two outgoing lines will be connected to one section and another two will be connected to other section. These two sections are connected by circuit breakers and isolators. If fault take place in one section, the supply is maintained by other section. Now, this was a disadvantage we had in the first system, that is single bus bar system. There, if any fault take place, entire substation is interrupted. Whereas in this case, only one section will be interrupted, other section will continue to supply. So this is the advantage of having sections in single bus bars. Complete shutdown of the substation is eliminated, and hence this can be very well used up to 33 kV without complete shutdown. So we have advantage of having sections in single bus bar. Let us see third type of bus bar system, that is duplicate bus bar system. In this system, we have a main bus bar and a spare bus bar or duplicate bus bar. So we have two bus bars. Each bus bar takes the entire load. Incoming lines are connected to both bus bars and the outgoing lines are also connected to both the bus bars. Normally, the main bus bars are used, but if any fault take place or during maintenance, duplicate bus bar can be used. So in this system, if any fault take place, the system continues, there is no interruption in the power supply, and the second or spare bus bar can be used to supply the power. Because of this, this system is used for voltages exceeding 33 kV. So we have a lot of advantage when it comes to duplicate bus bar system.